wow, he really gets me. Or, wow, she really understands me. Have you ever felt that about one of your managers? Like, really felt that? And I bet you felt energized working for them and working on that team. On the other hand, have you ever felt like, oh, this is so draining? I'm so bored. I'm not motivated. My manager's nice, but I just can't get into this work. And that's probably because your values in some way are being violated. And perhaps have you heard those words like, wow, he really gets me, perhaps overheard in your own team members? Imagine that. And so, like, one of the principles that I truly believe in is that when your values are recognized and you can live them, you're very energized and you feel very fulfilled. And when they're not recognized and they feel violated, you feel very de-energized and unfulfilled. So it's important to know your values, but as a leader, it's very important that you understand what the values of your people are. And I'm not saying, oh, name them, they value respect, they value being challenged, etc. And those are good for words, but it's more so just inherently, tacitly knowing what matters to this person and what do they value. So how do you do that? Well, there's a simple way to do it. For example, when you go to your staff after a long weekend, you say, oh, how was your weekend? And most of us just wait for the response. We go, oh, that was nice, and perhaps chime in, oh, yeah, I did that. Have you tried this? Versus really listening to what they're saying and what they're describing. They could say, perhaps, I went on this trip with my family and we did this and that, and it was so much fun, and my kids did this and that, right? And you could ask questions about that. And then you could start looking or listening for patterns across the weeks. And you realize, well, this person really values family time. Or this person really values giving back to the community. Or values teaching people new things. Or perhaps in themselves learning new things. And by doing that, you're essentially mining for values. And I'm not saying do it in a sort of way that is not authentic, but when you ask people, how was your weekend? What are you really listening for? So I just suggest you listen for what matters to them and their values. And then to take that in and think, okay, so that's what's fulfilling to them. How could I give them the same sort of fulfillment in their roles, right? Some people may want to always be challenged. Some people may want to have more of a sort of safe, I guess, manageable, workday, right? And neither one is better than the other. You just have to manage your team as a team. But foremost, the premise is that if you are in tune with their values and they can, work and live just to those values, they'll be much more energized and much more fulfilled. And they'll maybe one day say, hey, wow, he really gets me. So as a leader, I just give you that. Focus on values and you'll get fulfillment. This is Unleash the L. I'm a leadership coach and I help leaders become really what's inside them. Thank you.